Hello, friends. It's Lindsay from World Changing Kids, and my pronouns are she and her. This video that you are about to watch is part two of the interview that our awesome summer campers did with Ryan from Ryan's Well Foundation. This camp that we ran, the theme for this camp was Water is a Human Right, and we were so lucky and we are so grateful that Ryan agreed to this interview because it was amazing. Every word that he says is just so beautiful, and he is a really powerful speaker in that he has the ability to really bring it down to a level that the kids could relate to and make them believe in the art of possibility, make them believe that they could do something like this. Because if you watch part one of our interview, you will learn that Ryan started this work when he was just 6 years old. So it's a beautiful story. He's a beautiful role model for our kids. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm trying to do shorter intros to these videos. So this is part two of our interview, and we just jump right into the first question from one of our campers. I will put the link to part one in the description of this video in case you want to go back and watch that after.
What inspired you to start Ryan's Well?
I think when we were in my classroom and my teacher was trying to explain to us that kids couldn't go to school, that they had to spend their days going and getting water for their families so they could cook and clean. We had a hard time understanding that. And I don't know, it just left a kind of a pit in my stomach. I thought about me going to school when I was in grade one. I don't think going to school was my absolute favorite thing. But then I thought if there, like, I remember one thing, I like now, but I remember in grade one, I didn't like math class. I had trouble in math in grade one. Would have done a lot better than me, but they weren't allowed because they had to go get water for their families. Like I always thought that if you know, wanted to succeed and do your homework and try, then you could get good marks and then, succeed later in life. So to hear that another kid didn't even have the opportunity to do that, I think really got to me because I thought it was more like even playing field. So I think that was a big motivating factor.
That was a great question.
I have a question. I just wanted to say I'm really smart in math.
Oh, you're really good at math. You like
Good
math.
job. That's one of the best skills that you can have. I got a little bit better later, but not a great one.
What was your favorite thing about building the well?
I think the favorite thing about building the well, I was actually really lucky. I was able to go and see the very first well that was drilled 3 years after my neighbors donated Air Mile points. So we were actually able to fly, my parents and I, to go see the well. And there was a huge celebration at the school there. There were over 5,000 people. There was a feast and a festival, and everyone was just happy because they had clean water. And I don't have a smile that lights up on my face because I can have a shower in the morning or a glass of water. So to see something that I considered really, small to have that much of an impact in someone's life, it really gave me motivation to keep on going. So I think whenever we do any project, it really, gives a lot of, it makes people's lives better, and it's a really good feeling. Mm-hmm.
Great.
How hard was it to walk up that hill with those jugs on your arms?
Well, here, Brian, it's Kat. I've done that a couple times, and it's not easy. But I remember I actually was able to have a pen pal that went to the very first school where the well was put in, and we became really good friends. And then, through a long story, he ended up coming to Canada, and he became my brother. So it's kind of a crazy story. But why I'm mentioning it is because Jimmy had to go get water for his family, and when he got to Canada and he started going to school, he was a really good runner, so he got involved in cross country. But when Jimmy ran, he ran a little weird. He ran with one arm like pumping and then the other arm by his side, and he never moved it. And his track coach at my school at St. Mike's couldn't figure it out for a long time. Does anyone want to guess why he ran with one arm pumping and the other just by his side?
Anyone have an idea? You can just unmute yourself.
So it became second nature to him to do that because he had been carrying jugs for pretty much almost all of his life.
So whenever he ran in Uganda, it was when he was going to get water, and he would have one jug on his head and he would be carrying the other in his arm, and he'd have to do that before he could go to school before Ryan's Well, and then bringing the water home after school. So he was so used to having to carry water that it took him, I think it was over a year to actually get both arms going when he was running. So it's just one of those things that, you take for granted, those little things that you don't have to do you can just turn on the tap. So it really opens your eyes to some things that people have to do just so that they can go to school, especially kids.
That's an amazing story. Great question, too.